Yes. Okay. Yep. We are live. Let's go. Yes. Ilmaz, feel free to share it with the Citrea builders, community members, ecosystem. It will be great to have more folks joining us for the workshop. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes uh, for them to join. And in the meantime, please go ahead and introduce yourselves. We can start with Ilmaz and then followed by Mayur.
Hey, how are you guys? Thank you so much for hosting me. I was just sharing the links with some friends and our marketing team for them to amplify. It's great to be here. Okay, quick background about myself. I'm Ilmaz. I'm working as ecosystem and development manager at Citrea. My background is coming from DeFi. I was creating DeFi strategies on a family fund. Before that, I was writing contents, etc. And then I have joined the Chainway Labs, which is the building company of Citrea. Quick background about Chainway Labs as two. Chainway Labs is the company behind Proof of Innocence protocol. We started as ZK and privacy, and Proof of Innocence got huge recognition from Ethereum and other founders like Ivan Vitalik have been mentioning about it. Then we have built Railgun's Proof of Innocence product actually. Then in the meantime, we have started to interact with Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a huge capital, but it was locked, it was idle, it was just sitting on wallets, not even transferring. And we want to like tackle that issue with combining our resources, our learnings on the ZK area. Then we have started to build the idea if we can build and roll up, which would have an EVM execution environment, but which would be like posting data using Bitcoin as data availability and settlement layer. We have started this journey around 2.5 years ago. We have raised from lead investors like Galaxy Ventures and Founders Food Fund, Maven 11, etc. We had good angels, and finally we have launched our product like back in 3 months ago. It has been on mainnet for some time right now, and we recently announced our TG upcoming CTR token. It will be live very soon. Probably you also have seen it. Also, we have announced our airdrop. We are rewarding long-term community members. Overall, what my job is at Citra is basically I'm handling the ecosystem side of things. I'm making sure our ecosystem has good tooling and protocols which users and developers needs. And I'm doing this with my colleague, my best friend Jason. He's not here right now. He's in Malaysia, so the time difference is a bit quite hot there. He's like 11 p.m. right now. Yeah. Anyway, overall, it's like that. It's great to have you guys, and I love what you are building on Avail, and feel free to share your insights as well.
Amazing and huge shout out and congratulations for the mainnet and also for the recent TGE that you guys have been up to. It's been like a super fun experience for us at Avail as well. You know, we are in regular touch with you guys, different apps building on Citria, and it's so much fun working together. Now over to you, Mayur. What are you doing at Avail? What you're cooking? What you're going to show us today? Please take on.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm Mayur. I basically work on the product team here at Avail. I used to be founder at another crypto startup called Arcana, which Avail acquired, and that's why I got to be here and work with a bunch of amazing people. And yeah, at Avail, basically, I oversee a few product lines and basically try and help out wherever I can we are building so many things, and everything is very hard to kind of keep a track of sometimes. But what we are doing as a concerted effort, especially for the Citrea ecosystem, is what we are very excited about. We feel like Citrea is definitely going about launching their chain in a nobler sort of way, if I may say so. And I think there's going to be some really nice apps that are going to be built there. And we are here to help those apps grow their distribution. And that's what we hope to be able to demonstrate today.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds great. I think let's begin. Let's see what you have got for us today.
Sure. Let me share my screen, and also, and Yilmaz, just feel free to jump in anytime you have a question or you want some clarity on anything else.
Sure.
Yep. So one of the things that we came to realize here at Avail is that there is a very real problem for apps that are being built all across the blockchain ecosystem. And the problem is one of being able to attract users, attract liquidity in an ever growing fragmented sort of chain landscape. You have so many chains, every chain has assets that are native to it, and users happen to have assets across all these chains. And but as a result, what happens is everyone's wallets are so fragmented with all these assets across all these different chains. And for users to be able to use apps, especially on up and coming chains like say Citrea and things like that, it's really hard. And the people who bear the brunt of it is actually the blockchain devs, the devs who are actually building these apps on all of these chains. And the reason is that they are sort of basically churning users because their users essentially either don't know about them, or even if they know about them, they can't use them because they don't have the assets that they need on that particular app. And this is what we are hoping to solve for apps on literally every chain. And the way we want to kind of go about doing this is by making all apps liquid, or that's how we like to kind of call them. A liquid app is essentially one which can be built anywhere and can attract users who are on any chain and have assets almost everywhere. So let's start with a very simple story, right? This is an example of an app on Citrea. Mystic Finance is a money market, a very popular money market on Citrea. And some of the issues that can happen, that even though one of the Mystic Finance vaults is offering perhaps great APY and someone wants to use it, the problems that users face if they were to hear of Mystic Finance and come connect their wallet is, firstly, they're going to find perhaps that they don't have the necessary funds to be able to kind of use this app. Then they learn that basically they will need to now go and bridge assets that they have on specific chains, and to end up with assets on the Citrea chain to be able to use Mystic in the first place. This obviously involves, them discovering a whole bunch of other bridging problems, which is, you need to be able to approve and submit a bridge transaction, which obviously needs gas. And even if you end up doing all of those sorts of things to be able to submit a transaction on Mystic, you not only need the asset which Mystic accepts, but you also need gas on Citrea, which is the Citrea BTC. And all of this basically leads to an extremely broken experience for users. This is the churn that I was talking about that happens when a new app launches anywhere. And this is precisely what we want to be able to solve, because this is absolutely messed up, right? You launch an app and you're hoping to get all the traction in the world. You've done everything to ensure that this app be successful. But the problem is that, and for almost very little fault of yours, the users are simply churning. And that is indeed really messed up. So how do we end this suffering for apps, right? So apps typically are faced with a choice when they want to be able to kind of launch apps, protocols, what have you. And they have to make a choice based on various factors. I think primary among them is where is the liquidity at. But as you can see, the liquidity is quite fragmented across all over the place. And it is also very, very transient. There's going to be some event that happens that suddenly makes, say, the BNB chain much more popular, and a lot of liquidity starts flowing there. And suddenly you have, say, Base or Solana become popular for a few weeks, and all the liquidity then flows there. And then Ethereum probably loses out in the process. But how does one end up choosing a stable base on which to build, right? So apps need more than just markers like where is the liquidity at or where are the users at, something so transient. They want to be able to kind of stick to things like which chain is a great technological fit, which chain is going to give me the strategic business or monetary support I need as a startup. And those are, I think, more pertinent things that apps should decide where they want to build. And if we want to be able to remove uh, this choice of trying to figure out where is the liquidity at or where are the users at completely out of the equation, then and let an app choose Citrea for all the right reasons, then we need to be able to kind of enable this, which is basically you build on Citrea, which currently has a very modest sort of DeFi TVL, but make sure that this app has access to the entire TVL of the rest of the Web3 ecosystem, which, as you can see, is orders of magnitude more. And so apps are left to kind of decide how do they go about actually doing this. And the choices that typically are left in front of them is, let me keep deploying instances of my protocol or my app on more and more chains, or I integrate some of these janky bridging products that somewhat alleviate user pain, and or I do some combination of these two things. But this is simply adding more trouble and really not doing a great job. You end up getting the worst of both worlds. Essentially, you now have multiple instances that you need to build and maintain, and multiple communities that you need to speak to ensure that things are working well, or you end up with half-baked bridging solutions that don't really go all the way in ensuring that the user experience is top-notch. This is exactly what Avail Nexus aims to solve for apps on every chain, and we are especially focusing on Citrea apps. So what we essentially offer is that no matter where the user is or where their assets are at, we are able to almost in one go help the user unify their assets across various chains and spend that unified liquidity almost seamlessly in just a couple of clicks, and use apps irrespective of where those apps are built, that is what chain they're on. So let's actually take a look at this before we actually talk a bit more about how developers can use all of this. So I will share my whole screen now. Yeah. So I hope you guys can see the screen. Okay, great.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So what we have here is a very simple demo app that we modeled on Mystic Finance. Mystic is, of course, like I said earlier, is a popular money market on the Citrea chain. And we have basically recreated their own product here in this demo app, right? So the idea is that a user comes, connects their wallet, is able to deposit some ctUSD into Mystic's vault, which is like an ERC4626 sort of compatible vault. And this is on Citrea. And the user should be able to start earning an APY. And so let's say the APY is great and I've heard of this app and I want to be able to use it. I connect my wallet here, and second, let's make sure wallet is on. Yeah. Yep. So I connect my wallet, and what do I see? I see I have no ctUSD, right? If I try and do any sort of deposit, I'm basically met with some sort of error message where it basically is telling me I have no ctUSD on Citrea, and what I will end up having to do, and this is what I have to mentally process, is depending on how scattered my assets are, I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of bridge transactions, a whole bunch of swap transactions to end up with the ctUSD to be able to make this deposit. I will also need to make sure I have the CBTC. I need to be able to submit this transaction, approve and submit this transaction, and all of those sorts of things. It's going to be a whole bunch of signatures, transactions, context switching, a bunch of time. And very likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to churn out here. I'm going to be like, let me get back to this some other time, or probably I'm never going to come back, which is very, very likely. So obviously there needs to be a better way. And let me quickly demonstrate that to you. I have the code base here for this demo app, and I'm just going to uncomment all the Nexus related code. And we'll go over that code also in a bit, because of course that is also very interesting. Just going to comment this out. I've taken great care to ensure we structure this so that we can move very fast. But yeah, very quickly, let's see what all did I uncomment, right? All the Nexus code that you would have to put in place. It's very simple, straightforward stuff. One is an initialize Nexus method, very simple. One simple method to deinitialize, just general housekeeping. Then you set the Nexus provider, the custom provider that Nexus provides. Again, very simple, straightforward. Then I want good UI. So I want to be able to show a unified USDC balance. And this is through a method that the Nexus SDK exposes. Very straightforward stuff. You can, in fact, just get a complete unified balance across multiple assets. But for the purpose of this demo, I've just unified my USDC balance, a simple helper function for that. Then comes the core, which is obviously being able to use Nexus to do this deposit seamlessly. And what this has, again, very simple things. One is to be able to set the swap intent hook, which will actually help me convert assets that I have in my wallet to the assets that I need to be able to do the deposit into my app. And then, of course, the specific details, I'm just encoding all the parameters. Oops. All the parameters that we need for making the API call, the contract call. This is basically the Mystic Vault, how much, what are the amounts and the address that is being passed, what is the gas price, all of these sorts of things. Any developer can customize this to their own ABI, their own set of arguments, their own set of parameters. And then very simple stuff to basically show progress as things go along. And that's it. That's all you really need to do. And now if you go and see, my app is like completely transformed. What this will show me now, let me reconnect my wallet, is Grab is actually funny. Yeah. What this will show me very shortly is that I may have no USDT on Citrea, but I have a bunch of unified USDC across various chains. As you can see here, I have about 10 USDC on Arbitrum, 10 USDC on OP, and 9 USDC on Base. And Nexus is actually going to help me use my USDC balances that I have on all these different chains to make a ctUSD deposit on Mystic's contract. So let's see that magic actually happen, right? So let me try and deposit 25 ctUSD. That's what I'm saying I want to be able to do. So now when I hit deposit, a bunch of stuff is going to happen. And if you see here, it's going to say to deposit 25 ctUSD, it's saying I need to spend $27.62, which is basically, it wants to take my USDC on Arbitrum, all my USDC on OP, and some of my USDC on Base. And what it's also going to do is it's going to give me the CBTC I need for actually making the final deposit call into the Mystic contract. It's going to give me all of this. The other interesting thing to basically note is that I have no assets here. I don't have ETH for gas either. I have nothing except these 3 USDC. So now if I just say confirm and deposit, it's going to ask me for a few approvals, and it's just a bunch of button clicks really as a user. Once I give all the necessary approvals, again, these are just permit transactions that I'm signing off, and all the steps are going forward. I have received the funds on Citrea, which is USDC on Citrea. That is going to get swapped to ctUSDC on Citrea. We seem to have had another. Let's see if we can try and redo this.
By the way, in the meantime, I want to point that currently Avail has Avail Nexus bridge already live on Citrea, and it's working like a charm. I have integrated with your SDK to my side hustle. I'm trying to integrate few stuffs on our ecosystem just to test things out, like how is it working, how we can improve the user experience and dev experience. And it was very charming, to be honest. If users today wants to bridge the Citrea, they can just go to Avail Nexus bridge, which is fastbridge.availproject.org/Citrea. You can bridge any of your USD assets from any chain to Citrea. Very smooth, so smooth. I love it. I use
Great.
a lot of time.
Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, so if we're getting into work, this is my approval transaction. I will go ahead and sign this. I could obviously not have signed this if I didn't have CBTC, which I obviously have. And this is now my final ctUSD deposit.
Okay, I just want to clarify one more thing. So you are seeing this is a Mystic Earn product and it has a Mystic frontend, right? But when you are signing, the protocol shows as Morpho because Mystic is a frontend.
4626.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But under on the under the hood, the protocol itself is Morpho. Just want to clarify that if users are seeing Morpho transaction on Ruby, they didn't think it's very simple. Mystic is just a front end.
Yeah, we can, as you can see here, I was able to deposit. We can also check the Citrea transaction on the Explorer. There's an actual deposit into the vault. I can go to Mystic and actually connect. Let's make sure we're connecting the same wallet. Yeah, AE04, yes. And if I go to this you will see that there is indeed a balance of $20. So just in a few button clicks, I was able to take USDC on three different chains and bring it all onto uh, Citrea, and then swap that for ctUSD, and finally make the deposit, and basically have gas to do all of that. So if I actually go and look at my Rabby here, you can see that there's a bunch of USDC on Citrea that is there. It has used up all my USDC on Arbitrum. There is some leftover on OP, on Base, and I also have some Dust ctUSD, and I do have the CBTC for gas transactions, as we said. So all of this was given to me by Nexus so that I can go ahead and just be able to do whatever it is that I set out to do. So yeah, this is basically how easy it is to get started with Nexus. Very quickly, what we have at Nexus are a variety of products. Like I said, we have the Nexus SDK, which is what I used in this demo here today. We have obviously the agent skills to go with this for the SDK. You can basically get those. We'll put out links for all of this. We have ready-made plug-and-play UI elements that can help you do exactly what I showed you, but with plug-and-play elements that you can customize. We have agent skills for those as well. And we have the Nexus API, which is also going to be coming very, very soon. So essentially, this is what we think can be a real game changer for apps, to be able to kind of build on chains like Citrea, but allow users to use their funds that happen to be on any chain and bring them onto Citrea and use their apps right wherever they built them, without needing to actually create separate instances, and without the need for users to actually go bridge their assets, switch context, do a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo before actually using apps. And that is what is the promise of Avail Nexus. And yeah, I'm going to pause here to see if Ilmaz, you have any questions.
It was so clear. It was great actually, and I'm right now thinking we should probably integrate you like Avail Nexus directly into some of our products. Right now we are building some interfaces for end user. Like we have announced our pre-deposit vault. Maybe you recall. It's recall like $80 million in USDC, and we will have several other deposit campaigns, several other vaults. And the main pinpoint was that users need to bridge their assets. Users need to like do a lot of hustle, etc. But with Avail's SDK, we might tackle that. I will definitely think about this, and I will definitely talk with the team. Maybe we can directly integrate this to our user interface product, which is coming pretty soon. We are building a gateway, basically collecting the bridges, swap functions, etc., and vault functions, vault products under the one UI.
Yeah, no, great. More than happy to support you guys in this endeavor. And obviously, we are here to help any apps building on Citrea to kind of get the similar experience that you just saw in our demo. More than happy to help in any way we can.
Thank you, Mar. Thank you for this. And I think like I should share this with Mystic Finance team as well. They will be um, more than happy to probably consider integrating with you guys.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. And yeah, in general, no, thank you for taking the time out to be here today. We really hope that we can help each other like grow and help the ecosystem grow and help developers actually focus on what they need to be able to do without having to worry about anything else, and just build successful, meaningful apps. All right.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think it was a great demo, Mayur, and thank you, Ilmaz, for the shout out here. I'll just wait for a minute to see if any of the Citria members, Avail members, or any of our viewers right now have any questions for us. Feel free to drop them on the chat box, and we'll try to address to our best. Ilmaz also like wanted to know, because you're DevReling and also leading the growing ecosystem at Citrea, you're talking to builders all day long, right? Like what kind of questions or issues or challenges, pain points you see when discussing about apps onboarding users? Like what are the pain points?
Onboarding and maintaining users are the main pinpoint actually. You're helping a lot on the onboarding phase. And if you cannot onboard the user at the first time, like they will just leave it. They will just confidence about the product and they will leave it. They will probably not return again. Like my mentioned, like you are giving a high API, but if user like get trouble about getting that API because of this monkey jumping stuffs, they will return maybe like 30% return back and try it. Right now, developers are on our ecosystem, mainly trying to solve onboarding issues, and also we are as well. Your product was definitely helpful. Also, I want to mention that like you have agent skill, it helped a lot for me to build DeFiPazar.com. So basically, this kind of application, this kind of toolings are very helpful for the developers. I think one thing can be improved or can be discussed is that like if we can somehow add more options, not just stables, like this can be a shortcut product. Like we were like mentioning about depositing to a vault, right? If user doesn't have USDC either, like or stables either, maybe there will be a way to deposit as they're swapping their ETH to ctUSD essentially. Or maybe this vault is only getting like a CBTC, the asset underlying asset is CBTC. Then maybe Avail can support this. But obviously it's solver based, so you need to have some balance on both chains. So there are some technical restrictions I know, but I just want to point that like definitely it will be also a good option, maybe using underlying protocols like swap aggregators or bridge aggregators, not just Avail's own solver, but also expanding this as a like a white glove product service for onboarding users might be very interesting, specifically for the ecosystems like us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right, Yilmaz. But I want to point out that whatever you mentioned, we are already doing and is already possible. Users, in my demo, I just showed it with ETH because it's the simplest demo to do. Sorry, I showed it with USDC because USDC has permits, and I can demonstrate how you don't need to have gas, all of these sorts of things. But users can already use almost any token that they have. They can use their ETH, they can use USDC, USDT, all the variants of USDC, USDT. They can use, I don't know, OP token, Pepe token, whatever they want that they have in their wallet. They can use it to convert it all to ctUSD and deposit it into Mystic. They can convert it all to CBTC to be able to do something else, to stake it maybe. And all of this is possible today. So whatever you described as us being able to use third-party swap aggregators, third-party bridge routes, not only our solver routes, we're already doing all of that to ensure that we are able to kind of maximize our support, basically make it asset agnostic for users and chain agnostic for developers.
That's great. This is new to me. I didn't know that. I only tried with the stables, but it sounds amazing, man. Yeah, we should definitely sync up again later on for these products I have mentioned to you. We can probably have a better user onboarding process just using your SDK, and it will be a very smooth transition for users to like switch their chains and give it a chance to Citrea as well.
Absolutely. Here to help with any sorts of things.
Sorry, because I have two developers with me, I have one question that is out of curiosity. Uh, like is there a mechanism by which developers actually can track how many people have dropped off before even entering the app or using it? Uh, like,
I mean, they can use cookies or they can use like what was that, Postgres. Like there are several Web2 applications, Web2 like tracking tools. They can just see that like where users are dropping off, and they can utilize that data to improve their onboarding process. But as a Web3, I'm not sure. I mean,
um,
I think Reon, for an example, has this function like they are giving you the stats about like if the user connected their wallet but didn't they do the transactions, or they just cut the transaction on the half, but it's like very expensive subscription based model. I don't know.
yeah, 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 makes sense. I think you were trying to mention post hoc also, like trying to see if
Yes, yes,
yeah,
post.
yeah. Post-hoc integrations. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. So Ilmaz, if you have like if I give you like 10 seconds and you have to at least name five apps on Citria that would benefit with Avail Nexus, who would those be?
Definitely, I will start with the protocols directly trying to onboard users, like a user ending product, like Signals, for an example. I love them. I love their product. I love their team. It's a Bitcoin price prediction market, and users need ctUSD to predict the price, bet on the price there, price range there. So it will be a great product because users need to convert their stables to ctUSD. That will be one. Also, the Zentra, which is another money market lending protocol, Avail fork. That will be another one. It's same stuff with Mystic actually, like same flow with Mystic. I would also suggest that maybe Satsuma. They are the DAX, obviously. They will get more users. There's also Foresight, another prediction market. Same similar stuff with Signals, but they use USDC, I believe. No, they also use CTS, the same stuff, and they have accounts for like different accounts you can create like previous stuff, right? I think this made like four, right? And for the fifth product, I think there is one stealth product. I cannot like say the name right now, but it will be a great product. It's related to privacy, but onboarding to privacy tools would be very interesting using Avail SDK, Nexus SDK. Like if users would be able to directly shield their tokens, shield their amount, just a click from other chains, it will be very interesting. I think those five products will be interesting. Yeah, fifth one, by the way, Crest. The name is Crest. It's still stealth. They're still building, but yeah, you will hear more about them later.
Amazing. I think out of five, we are already integrating with three of them, so that's good news. Interesting, like for Crest, you also mentioned privacy onboarding as one of the
Yes.
important parameters. Yeah, just playing a bit of Peter Parker and Spider-Man role here. Mayur, anything fun happening in Avail that could be valuable for Crest?
I mean, it sounds like lots. Uh, I think there are a bunch of things that I can talk about that I've spoken about today, which is obviously public, that we can instantly start talking to the Crest team about. But we also have a few things that I cannot currently talk about, which I think will also be very interesting to the Quest team, especially on the privacy side. Uh, yeah, I really can't say too much more. I think, yeah.
That's a good tease. Awesome. It seems like we don't have any questions, so I'll treat that as a very successful demo and workshop. So,
Yeah, everything was clear. Thank you, Mike.
but it was great chatting with both of you. Um, lots of things happening for Citria, lots of things happening at Avail, and it's super fun that both the teams are co-working together on such cool stuff. And I hope we keep on building more cool stuffs together. We'll definitely stay in touch. If you guys have anything else to ask each other, feel free to. If you want to ask me anything, happy to engage on a one-on-one level as well. But yep, thank you for giving us your time. Thank you, Mayur, for the incredible workshop and demo. And Ilmaz, I'm very sure we are gonna chat soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much again hosting me for this great workshop. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much, Som.
Thank you. Thank you.